Well, Tom Fontana, who was the exec producer of Homicide, his first job in television was St. Elsewhere, which when I was at Hill Street, St. Elsewhere and Hill Street were in the same building. St. Elsewhere was on the first floor, Hill Street was on the second floor, and it was kind of the Harvard Business School of television in the late '80s, and it was an amazing place. I mean, the people that were there were and are some of the top people in the business. And Tom and I were friendly. We'd have lunch on a regular basis, as a lot of us were. Then he ended up on the East Coast. I ended up producing on the East Coast. Obviously, Homicide and Law and Order were on the same network, and for most of their runs, equally unpopular at the network. Um, so I think mostly for the annoyance factor, we came up with the idea of doing crossovers, which really worked. I mean, it was a lot of fun. It was a pain in the ass. Ed Sheeran, I think, directed the two of them. Um, it was logistically a nightmare. I mean, people coming back and forth to Baltimore was insane. Um, Nobody would voluntarily probably do it again under any other set of circumstances, but it was really fun, and I think it showed that because the two shows couldn't have been more different. I mean, that's the thing. The rhythms of the shows were so disparate that to get these episodes that worked for both audiences was enormously difficult creatively. I mean, people spoke differently, the pace was different, but if you look at those episodes, they're very strong, and it shows what happens when you again bring good writing together with really good actors. This is not a slam at NBC, but in the mid '90s, neither of the shows were very popular over there. I mean, they were Law and Order was kind of a necessary evil, but they Homicide never, it was Friday at 10. Who cared? It was it was like leaving the somewhat ill-mannered people to go play in the mud. That they didn't get it. They didn't really make much of an effort to pretend that they thought this was a great idea. But if we wanted to do it, fine. And it did work. But it was not one of these things that went, great, when are you going to do the next crossover?